Namaste. Welcome to an arm sequence today. Begin on your hands and knees, spreading the fingers firmly and evenly onto your mat, pressing down through the ball mounts of the hands, coming into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Curl the toes under, lifting up through the hips as we slowly lengthen through the spine, bringing the belly towards the thighs, relaxing the head between the shoulders as we roll the shoulders away from each other, pressing down through the inner heels, and taking long, deep breaths into your back body. After you've taken 3 long, deep breaths, exhale down back to your knees and relax into child pose. Hands by the knees, push the body up, head comes up last. Taking a few breaths. Now let's open up the wrists. So bringing the hands back into your tabletop position. Flip the hands backwards towards the knee, as close to the knee as possible. Curl the toes under and slowly sit back onto the heels, gently releasing the wrists. Take a few deep breaths in and out of your nose. Releasing the hands back forward, moving into rabbit pose. Bringing the hands behind your shoulders, behind your back, clasping your hands, rolling the shoulders back, and lifting up back onto your knees. Placing the head onto the mat in front of you. You can curl the toes under, bend at the hips, release the head to the floor, and release the arms up behind the back. Taking a few deep breaths, releasing the shoulders. And after your 3 breaths, go ahead and release back, chin to chest, and releasing back up into a kneeling position. Garudasana, eagle arms. So you could sit in lightning bolt pose, or you can sit on a cushion, or whatever's comfortable for you. Reaching the arms in front of you, bend your elbows, bringing the elbows together, and then bringing one arm behind the other arm, crossing the elbows. So this is step 1. Step 2 is bringing the forearms together. And then step 3, you're welcome to bring the palms together, just an option. Inhale, elbows up. Taking a few deep breaths, releasing the shoulders. Exhale, release. And then bringing the other arm in front, bringing the arms in front of you, bend the elbows, elbows together. Right arm in front of the left. Forearms together, hands together. Inhale up. Few long breaths. Exhale, release. Gomukhasana arms, cow face arms. Reach the arms out to the sides. Flip the Left arm up, reach it overhead as we release the right arm down. Bend the elbows and do your best to grab the fingertips behind you, reaching for them. Maybe even clasping the fingers together, keeping the head aligned, lifting the heart, relaxing the jaws, the throats. Taking long, deep breaths. Inhaling the arms out. And let's do the other side. So flip the right arm up, left hand down, bend the elbows, and wiggle the fingers up towards the other ones. Grab those fingertips, or work towards the fingers and take a few deep breaths. Inhale, release. Exhale, down. Coming on to staff pose. Feet in front of you. Lengthen through the heels as you lift the flesh away from the sit bones. We'll first begin with a wrist and shoulder opener by bringing the hands behind you. Palms are towards the body and the fingertips are away. Feet are flexed. Lift the chest as we press down through the hands, lengthening up through the feet, and taking a few deep breaths. Reversing the hands, fingertips towards the body as far back as possible. Bend the elbows back, pressing down through the hands as you firmly press them into your mat. Lift up through the chest, taking a deep breath. Rolling the shoulders towards each other, lifting up through the heart, and maybe even lifting the head up and back. Preparatory position for plank pose. Let's bring the head forward. Let's practice half plank. Bringing the right knee bent, point the left toe, spread the fingertips, roll the shoulders back, pressing down to the foot. Let's lift up through the pelvis. Inhale, straight up. Continue to breathe, toe facing the earth. Internally rotating that left leg. Pressing down to the hands firmly and evenly. Exhale, hips down. Go ahead, join both feet together, back into your staff pose, lifting up to the heart. And practice the other side, left leg bent. Pressing down through the hands, pointing the right toe. Pressing down to the left foot, inhale, hips up. Pointing the toe to the earth, release the head back. Taking long, deep breaths. Exhale, hips down. Roll the shoulders back and press both feet together back into your staff pose. Resting for a few breaths. Feel free to rotate the hands around the wrists to release the wrists. I have a variation of a twist, Marishyasana, bending the left knee. You may need a strap or some sort of belt for this practice. We'll bend the left knee, bringing the body forward and reaching the left arm in front of the knee. Grabbing your strap, both hands behind the left leg. As we walk the hands towards each other, leaning forward, and then rotating the chest open. Taking long, deep breaths and long exhalations. Exhale, release. And let's practice the other side. Bend the knee, bringing it close to the body, lifting up, extending through the left leg, grabbing your strap in both hands, reaching the arm over the knee, walking the hands towards each other, and rotating that left shoulder open. Continuing to breathe, taking long, deep breaths. Release, and bring the legs forward. We'll continue our practice on the floor as we bend the knees, coming onto our backs, nice and slowly. Feet are closer to the buttocks, hip width apart, hands next to the body, engaging the belly, the abs, engaging the glutes, pressing down through the arms, the shoulders, as well as the feet. Inhaling hips up as we move the quads forward, rolling the shoulders closer together, and continuing to lift up through the hips into bridge pose. Feel free to reach the arms overhead. Continuing to release the shoulders as we lift up through the chest and lift up through the hips. Exhaling, arms back to the sides. Take another deep breath before you release down to the earth. Rest for a few breaths with a nice neutral spine. And then lengthen each leg in front of you, preparing for a relaxation pose. Relax the jaws, the throats, and the facial muscles. Bend your knees, push the right arm over the head, roll to the right, rest for a few breaths, and then slowly push your bodies up. Bringing yourselves into a seated position. And your practice, bring the hands to the heart. Take a moment for yourselves. Noticing how you're feeling, where you're at in this very moment. I bow down to your divine souls. Namaste.